These 5 people are amongst the greatest quiz players in Britain. Together they make up the Eggheads, arguably the most formidable quiz team in the country. The question is, can they be beaten?
Welcome to Eggheads, the show where a team of 5 quiz challengers pit their wits against possibly the greatest quiz team in Britain. You might recognise them as they are Goliaths in the world of television quiz shows. They are the Eggheads. And challenging the awesome might of our resident quiz champions today are the South Wales Warriors. The team all play American football together and currently compete in South West Division 2 of the British American Football League. Let's meet them.
I'm Tim, I'm 36, and I'm a learning resource manager.
I'm Tom, I'm 22, and I'm a waiter.
I'm Hugh, I'm 30, and I'm a technical analyst.
I'm Daryl, I'm 35, I'm director of a software company.
I'm Gwilym, I'm 36, and I'm a project officer.
Welcome to you, South Wales Warriors. So tell me, how do you do in this division you're in?
We do all right, Dermot. Every year we get better. We went to the national final of Division 2 in 1999. We had a year off then, and every year we've gotten one step closer. Last year we made it to the national semi-finals, so we're hoping to get just one step further this year again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, are there a lot of teams in it? There's a lot of interest in this country in American football?
It's growing. It subsided a bit after the 80s when it was broadcast everywhere in Britain. It's getting a little bit more exposure now. We're picking up new players every year. We've got about, I think, 15 new players on our team this year, so we're enjoying a bit of a renaissance, if you want.
And do you get a lot of rugby players? I mean, is there a crossover there, or do people come from all kinds of sports?
We try to. It's a bit difficult in South Wales. They like their rugby down there. So we try to poach the ones we can. Try to teach people that it's about complementary skills as opposed to competitive skills.
Yeah, complementary apart from the throwing the ball forward bit.
Exactly. Well, we can still use an egg-shaped ball and chuck it around a bit, so we can use some of the same skills.
OK, well, let's play, kids. Good luck today. Every day there's £1,000 worth of cash up for grabs for our challengers. However, if they fail to defeat the Eggheads, the prize money rolls over to the next show. So South Wales Warriors, the Eggheads have won the last 4 games, which means £5,000 says you can't beat the Eggheads. And let's see how it goes in these head-to-heads. 4 head-to-heads coming up, an opportunity to try and knock an egghead out. The first one is food and drink. Who'd like to play food and drink? And who would you like to play for the Eggheads?
I think I see that, Tim.
Yeah. OK, I'll be taking
Straight in there, Tim. OK, which Egghead would you like to play?
Again.
You reckon?
Well, Kevin, I
Go for
think.
Kevin? Yeah, we'll take on Kevin, please.
Struggled in the last few games in food and drink. The 3 times world quiz champion. Let's see how he does this time. Could I ask Tim and Kevin to take their positions in the question room? And Tim, I take it you're not a native of South Wales, judging from the accent. Where are you from?
I'm originally from a town just south of Seattle in the northwest of the United States.
OK, but the accent's changing a bit. You're picking up... You've been in Wales some time.
I've been here for 12 years, so most of my American friends think I have a British accent, and most of my British friends think I have an American accent, so I think I'm somewhere in the middle.
OK, Tim, would you like to go first or second?
I think I'll go first, please.
OK, it's food and drink. Here you go. What name is given to the small individual stems that make up the heads of vegetables such as broccoli? Buds, shoots or florets?
I have to work through this one a little bit. I believe shoots is more... It reminds me more of bamboo, to be honest, and buds, more of a more flowery type thing. I think I'm going to go for florets, please.
OK, it's the right answer. Good start, Tim. Kevin, which French term describes any dish topped with cheese or breadcrumbs and heated until brown and crisp? Flambé, gratin or julienne?
My one's gratin.
Gratin is correct. One to you, Kevin. Tim, second question. In which European country are puy lentils grown? Spain, France or Italy?
I'm going to have to work my way through this again, I think. I'm going to... It's just going to be a process of elimination. I think I'm going to rule out Spain, simply because it doesn't sound very Spanish. I know it's not very scientific. And I'm going to use the same reasoning to rule out Italy. I'm going to go for France, but it's a guess, I'm afraid.
Guess at France for the puy lentils. It's a good guess. It's the right answer. Kevin, from which part of an animal is tripe made? Is it the stomach, the brains or the tongue?
Yes. Not exactly a favourite. No. I don't know. I don't think brains or tongue get involved. I think it's made from the stomach. Yeah, stomach.
Stomach? It is the right answer, yes. 2 each. OK, Tim, going strongly here. Can you tell me, by what name is the Boletus edulis mushroom sometimes known? Farthing cake, shilling pie, or penny bun?
Well, I think I've gone from a little bit of a guess to entirely a guess now. I'm going to have to just pick one out of the blue. I've got really no idea. I'll say the penny bun, please.
It's a good one. Again, it's the right answer. Stab in the dark. Doesn't matter. Got 3 out of 3. OK, Kevin, under pressure then. Which spirit, a speciality of Goa in India, is distilled from cashews or coconut sap? Is it Feni, Bassi, or Pisco?
Well, I haven't been to Goa, and you've got me here, I think, because I don't think I've ever heard of this. I don't think I've ever come across this. Cashews, pistachio, pisco. For some reason, I don't think it's Feni, but I've no reason to think that particular. Try Bassi. I don't know.
Bassi. Distilled from cashews or coconut sap. Is he right, Eggheads?
No.
Well,
Feni.
I would have gone for Feni, but
It is Feni.
It's Feni.
One I
The
rolled
one
out. Yeah.
you didn't even think of. It's Feni, which means again, Kevin, you have lost at food and drink. Great news for you, Tim. Captain's innings means you'll be playing in the final round, and Kevin won't be there. Would you both please come back and join your teams? Well, a great round there, Tim, as you admit, self-admission. A couple of guesses there. Doesn't matter how you land them. Kevin tried a guess and got it wrong there. Cost him a place in the final round. You've lost 3 out of your last 4, 4 out of your last 6 in food and drink.
Luck of the draw.
Luck of the draw.
Luck of the draw. Yeah.
Well, more than
Well,
that,
no, I
isn't
mean
it?
we discussed this last time. I don't like the subject.
Yeah.
But you know, having said that, I mean, as what should we say? My years of quiz experience tell me I've just simply been very unlucky with the way things have fallen. So
Yeah.
as well. So
OK, so you're going to ride it out.
yeah, absolutely.
OK, well, great start, as I say, for the South Wales Warriors. Knocked an egghead out, and no less than Kevin is that egghead. He's not going to be in the final round. Our next subject, then, is arts and books. Who'd like to play this? Can't be Tim. Arts and books.
This is no one's favourite subject, was it?
No, we struggled with this one.
I think I was going to put myself forward for this on the basis no one else is really that comfortable with it.
OK, I like the way you stepped up there. No debate there. You just stepped up and said,
Not
OK,
the
I'll do
best
it.
recommendation, but I think it's going to be me.
OK, and who would you like to play? Can't be Kevin. Bet you wish it
reckon?
was.
Okay.
Before me's on.
We talk about this. CJ? Yeah, we'll take on CJ
I think
on
I'll
this one, please.
try and beat CJ.
OK, let's have Darryl and CJ into the question room then. OK, right. Now, do you want to go first or second, Darryl?
I think I'll lead this one, yeah.
You will lead. OK, this is your question then. Best of luck. Arts and books. Which famous composer died at the age of 35 in Vienna in 1791? Falsely rumoured to have been poisoned. Mozart, Beethoven or Vivaldi?
As I said a little bit earlier on, this is not my favourite subject, but for lack of anybody else, I think I'm going to have to rule out Vivaldi. I don't know why, which leaves me with Mozart and Beethoven. My gut feel is to go with Mozart straight away, purely for the city that you named. So I think I'll go with Mozart.
OK, Mozart died in 1791 at the age of 35, you think? Well, now you know it. It's the right answer. And the rumours about having been poisoned, of course, he had a great rivalry, it was thought. I mean, mainly due to the film and the play Amadeus, isn't it, with this guy Salieri?
Yeah. But whether that doesn't really seem to have been the case in real life. It's much
Invented.
exaggerated.
But he certainly was. I mean, he died in poverty, didn't he?
He was put into a pauper's grave, yes, and it was a long time before anybody had any real idea as to where it was.
OK, well, that was Mozart. Good start for Darryl. CJ, in which country did the artist Andy Warhol spend most of his working life? United Kingdom, USA or France?
in the factory in New York, which I think is in the USA.
Yeah, I think it might be. It's the right answer. Well done, CJ. Darryl, which London district gives its name to an association of 20th century painters led by Walter Sickert? Is it Camden Town, Bloomsbury or Mile End?
I'm Of the three there, I think I might rule out Camden Town. I think it's probably more associated for its famous market. And maybe Bloomsbury too. Is that a flower market in Bloomsbury? Which leaves it Mile End. I think Mile End is the answer I'm going to go for.
OK, Mile End, an association of 20th century painters. It's Camden Town. Camden Town there, so the one you ruled out first means CJ has a chance to take the lead. CJ, in the Harry Potter books, what type of creature is Fawkes, the animal that resides in Professor Dumbledore's office? A centaur, a hippogriff, or a phoenix?
Never read the books, never seen the films.
Oh, dear me. Now, that's a gaping hole in your knowledge.
I just don't care about them.
It's like Kevin in Food and Drink. I'm finding out all kinds of things about you eggheads. Thought it's a way of life for you lot.
Not Harry Potter, I just know nothing about it. I suppose you can see Dumbledore having a phoenix, can't you? Risen from the flames, mystical creature. Absolutely no idea, but I'm going to go for phoenix.
Phoenix, it's the right answer, yes. So there we are, yes, a phoenix in Professor Dumbledore's office. So it means, Darryl, you've got to get this. In E. Nesbit's book, The Railway Children, what is the name of the station porter with whom the children become friends? Is it Pons, Perks, or Pikes?
Tough question. I vaguely remember the book from my childhood. I'm sure we read it at school when I was very young.
Seen the film?
Probably, yes. Again, many, many years ago. I think Mr. Pikes sounds the sort of the name you might have in a children's book, so I'm going to go with Mr. Pikes.
Pikes.
Pikes, yes.
The station porter. It's, I remember the film, the part's taken by Bernard Cribbins.
Cribbins, yeah.
Bernard Cribbins takes the role of Perks. Perks. I mean, they're all plausible there, aren't they, if you don't know it. It means CJ's through to the final round. The two mistakes there by Darryl. Don't need to put another question to CJ. Would you both please come back and join your teams? Well, that levels it up in terms of who's been knocked out so far. One Egghead, one South Wales Warrior. Let's play our next head-to-head then, and this subject's geography. Fancies this? It's going to be Tom, Hugh or Gwilym?
I'll go.
OK, Gwilym, who would you like to play from the Eggheads? It can't be Kevin or CJ.
How about
Chris, Daphne or
He's
Judith?
winking at you.
Judith?
Judith, please.
She's winking at me there.
Daphne was winking at you.
Judith, you sure about that, Gwilym?
Yeah, Judith.
OK. Let's have Gwilym and Judith then into the question room. So, Gwilym, you've got a bit of a travel bug, haven't you? Is that why you decided to play geography?
Yeah, I've been away a couple of times. The first time I lived in New Zealand for about 3 years, so I kind of know that kind of area. So if there's any New Zealand questions, I should be OK.
Fingers crossed for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think those type of questions might be in the first set or the second set?
Well, I'm going to be a gentleman and let Judith go first.
Off you go, Judith, then. Beirut is the capital of which country? Turkey, Tunisia or Lebanon?
It's the capital of Lebanon.
It is, that's the right answer. Gwilym hanging his head there, thinking, yeah, I could have gobbled that one up. Try this for size, though, Gwilym. What is the name of the range of hills that runs for 50 miles through southwest England between the Vale of Severn and the Vale of Oxford? Pennines, Cotswolds or Cambrians?
Well, seeing as we're talking about England, I can immediately rule out the Cambrians, because that's in Wales, and the Pennines are too far north, so I'd have to go for the Cotswolds.
Cotswolds?
Yeah.
Cotswolds is the right answer, yes. OK, it's 1-1. Second question, Judith. The Presidio, a former US Army base turned public park, is a feature of which US city? Is it New York, San Francisco or Los Angeles?
I'm trying to think where the army might have been based. I don't know, dear me, I've got to guess it. And there's an American there too. He's probably sort of grinning away. I don't know. I'm just going to say New York.
New York, OK.
Yes.
I'll double check with Tim then. Is she right?
No, it's San Francisco.
It's San Francisco. San
well.
Francisco, the Presidio. OK, well, Gwilym, you were a bit disappointed with that first question for Judith. It might have worked for you, but to capitalise, you need to get this, your second question. The Gulf of Aqaba is a part of which larger body of water? the Mediterranean Sea, the Arabian Sea, or the Red Sea?
Well, this is where my travels have come in quite useful because I've actually stood by the Gulf of Aqaba, and it's actually part of the Red Sea.
Well, there you are. It's the right answer, yes. Did you dive in it as well?
Yeah, I did. I did a quick, one of those scuba diving things as well.
OK, well, it means Judith has to get this. You've 2 potential chances of getting through to the final round out of these questions, Gwilym. If Judith gets this wrong or if you get your third one correct, it won't matter what she does. OK, Judith. The rock-hewn churches at Lalibela are a tourist attraction in which African country? Ethiopia, Egypt, or Morocco?
The rock-hewn churches at Lalibela.
Lalibela.
Well, the Copts in Upper Egypt are the Copts, which are the Christians in Egypt, are in Upper Egypt. Ethiopia has quite a lot of churches. They use umbrellas, don't they? It's part of the regalia or whatever. So yeah, I think it's Morocco is a Muslim country, so I think it's Egypt or Ethiopia. I have a feeling it might be the churches in Upper Egypt, simply because Egypt is also a Muslim country. They might need to hide in a cave. So I'm just going to chance it and say Egypt.
OK, Egypt is your answer. The rock-hewn churches at Lalibela are in Ethiopia. Ethiopia, and it means then that Gwilym is in the final round. Would you both please come back and join your teams? Well, after the third quarter of these 4 head-to-heads, you're 2-1 in the lead. Knocked 2 eggheads out and 1 South Wales warrior missing. It was money well spent, that trip to the Red Sea, Gwilym. Got you through to the final round. Our last head-to-head before the final round is entertainment. If you'd like to play this, it's Tom or Hugh, one of you two.
Is that one of your...
Entertainment.
Yeah, Tom, that's one of the ones. Yeah, Tom, please.
OK, Tom, who would you like to play from the eggheads? The remaining eggheads are Chris and Daphne.
Daphne's really strong in that team, isn't she?
Daphne keeps winking at us.
Chris.
She winks at all the boys.
She winks at Chris, please.
OK, well, let's see how it goes. It should be interesting in the question room, then. Could I ask Tom and Chris to go to that question room? All right, Tom, do you want to go first or second?
I'm going to go second, please.
OK, work for Gwilym. See if it'll work for you, Tom. Egghead first. Chris, Ashes to Ashes is a 2008 sequel to which television series? Is it Hotel Babylon, Waterloo Road, or Life on Mars?
Yeah, it's moved on 10 years into the 80s, and it's a sequel to Life on Mars.
Ashes to Ashes is a sequel to Life on Mars. That's the correct answer. Chris, yes. OK, then, Tom, what was the name of Buddy Holly's backing group? Is it the Comets, the Crickets, or the Coconuts?
OK, I think the Comets was Bill Haley. The Coconuts I've never heard of. So I'm going to go for the Crickets. Okay. Rings a bell.
Coconuts is Kid Creole, I think. Buddy Holly, the Crickets, you're right. Chris, Stephen Gately is a member of which group? Westlife, Boyzone, or East 17?
Well, it's not East 17, because they come from Walthamstow and he's Irish. Stephen Gately was a member of Westlife.
OK, Westlife for Stephen Gately. It's not, it's Boyzone. Yeah, just, you hate those questions. Girl bands, boy bands, doesn't matter which. So, a real chance again for the South Wales warrior. Tom, which actor and comedian portrayed the Irish playwright Oscar Wilde in the 1997 film called Wilde? Is it Stephen Fry, Billy Connolly, or Eric Idle?
All right, never seen it, so gonna be a bit of a guess, I think. Don't think it's going to be Stephen Fry. Doesn't seem like his sort of thing. I've only seen Eric Idle in Python stuff, so I'm going to pass on him. I'm going to go Billy Connolly. It's a bit of a guess, but...
Okay. Billy Connolly is Oscar Wilde. There's an image to conjure with. The big It's Stephen Fry. Stephen Fry took the part of Oscar Wilde in the film, so a let-off for Chris. Stays all square. Chris, which Desperate Housewives actress married the professional basketball player Tony Parker in July 2007? Felicity Huffman, Terry Hatcher or Eva Longoria? Which Desperate Housewives actress married the professional basketball player Tony Parker in July 2007? You a Desperate Housewives fan, Chris?
I'd never watched it in my life. The only thing I know about it is it's set on a street called Wisteria Lane. Now, I think if Terry Hatcher had got married, we'd have heard about it. I don't think it's Eva Longoria either. I'll take a punt, if you'll pardon the expression, on Felicity Huffman.
Felicity Huffman. A punt there. That's American football phrase, isn't it? Punting. It's Eva Longoria. So another slip there. And this one that could cost him his place in the final round. Tom, you've just got to give me the answer to this and you're through. So, in which country is the annual Roskilde Music Festival held? Iceland, Sweden or Denmark? In which country is the annual Roskilde Music Festival held?
Can you spell that, please?
Roskilde.
Roskilde. Quite close country, so I don't think there's much to divide them that way. I'm going to go for Denmark.
Roskilde is in Denmark. It's correct. You're through to the final round. You guys seem to know that one.
Yeah, we had a good idea.
Rock fans.
Oh, rock fans. I'm very impressed. Roskilde, just to confirm, is in Denmark. Puts Tom through to the final round. No place for you, Chris. Would you both please come back and join your teams? So, this is what we've been playing towards. It's time for the final round, which, as always, is general knowledge. But I'm afraid those of you who lost your head-to-heads won't be allowed to take part in this round. So, just Darryl from the South Wales Warriors and Judith, Kevin and Chris from the Eggheads. Would you all leave the studio now, please? So, Tim, Tom, Hugh and Gwilym, you're playing to win the South Wales Warriors £5,000. CJ and Daphne, you're playing for something which money can't buy. That Egghead's reputation of yours. As usual, I'll ask each team 3 questions in turn. This time, the questions are all general knowledge. You are allowed to confer. South Wales Warriors, the question is, are your 4 brains better than the Eggheads' 2? Tim, Tom, Hugh and Gwilym, would you like to go first or second?
I think, chaps.
First. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
We'll go first, please.
Kicking off, let's see how you do. Can you win the money? Can you beat those 2 puny Eggheads over there? I tell you, it was a scrum. Well, you don't scrum down. What do? What are those? Huddles?
We huddle, yeah.
Yeah. You really wouldn't want to huddle.
No.
Would you? OK, here we go. First question, general knowledge. Can you beat the Eggheads? Which comic strip character is famous for eating cow pies with the horns left in? Is it Desperate Dan, Dennis the Menace or Minnie the Minx? Which comic strip character is famous for eating cow pies with the horns left in?
Yeah.
American footballers do that as well, don't they?
We're fairly confident that it's Desperate Dan.
It's the right answer, yes. Desperate Dan is correct. OK, Eggheads, how are you feeling?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
You're nervous, aren't you? You're worried.
By this lot?
OK.
Behave.
According to the saying, what does familiarity breed? Dislike, contempt or neglect? According to the saying, what does familiarity breed?
Like, I have but CJ contempt.
Familiarity breeds contempt. It's the right answer, Eggheads. So, 1 each. Back to the Warriors. What name was given to the European travels undertaken by young Englishmen of rank in the 17th and 18th centuries? The Long Trek, the Great Walk or the Grand Tour? What name was given to the European travels undertaken by young Englishmen of rank in the 17th and 18th centuries?
Yep. We're going to go with the Grand Tour, please.
Grand Tour is the right answer again. It's correct. 2 to you. OK, put you 2-1 in the lead. Egghead's second question. The singer Edith Piaf was famous for her romantic association with which sportsman? Marcel Cerdan, René Lacoste or Juste Fontaine? The singer Edith Piaf was famous for her romantic association with which sportsman?
Oh dear.
Not heard this.
Right.
Okay. If it was René Lacoste, would we have heard of it?
Yeah, but René Lacoste is 20th century, isn't it? Like in 1920s.
Oh yes, of course. He was one of the four, wasn't he? One of the four musketeers.
Yeah,
Lacoste.
so it's not Jules Fontaine because it's far too late. I mean, basically, I would go. I mean, I haven't heard of Marcel.
No.
I would go for René Lacoste because I've heard of him. But Jules Fontaine was much later, I'm sure.
Oh dear.
We should have seen the film.
Yeah.
I was going to say that Oscar-winning film about Edith Piaf. Neither of you seen it?
No.
No, sorry. Should we go for it? Because we haven't.
Only because we haven't even heard of Marcel Cerdan. We think Fontaine was later, so purely because we know they link up in terms of dates. Let's go for Lacoste.
Yeah. René Lacoste.
René Lacoste. Edith Piaf was famous for her romantic association with Marcel Cerdan,
Oh dear. I bet they knew it.
who was a boxer. Any silent eggheads know that?
Yes,
Yeah.
all
Kevin?
of us.
All three.
Immediately.
Marcel Cerdan just shows the power of those head-to-heads. Let's not dwell on that. Let's dwell on this. This is then the money-winning question. South Wales Warriors, you tell me the answer to this, and you've beaten the eggheads. The medieval Lewis chessmen, now mostly in the British Museum, were discovered in which country in the 19th century? Wales, Scotland, or Northern Ireland? The medieval Lewis chessmen, now mostly in the British Museum, were discovered in which country in the 19th century?
If this turns out to be Wales, we're dead.
Yeah.
All I can think of is Ireland and Lewis and
Yeah, that's
Scotland.
Scotland. That's Scottish, is it?
Yeah,
Let's go for that. The Isle of Lewis is Scotland.
that's assuming that's what it is. But
Well, that's good enough for anything to go on, isn't it?
Yeah.
Give that.
We'll go for that. Again, we're struggling for our logic, but we're going on the fact that the Isle of Lewis is in Scotland. We're going to go with Scotland.
Okay, Scotland. This is like having, the field goal attempt, isn't it? With 10 seconds to go, you know there's no comeback if you kick it. He's landed it. It's the right answer. You've won. Just won £5,000. Any idea how I might spend the money?
Some of it's going to go back to the club. We struggle for funding, so there's a lot of people that want to play the sport, and all the equipment is expensive.
Yeah.
So we're going to put some money back into the sport and hopefully raise the profile a bit.
I'll buy a few helmets there.
Yeah, we can.
Also, I mean, there's a film out, isn't there, with George Clooney in it called Leatherheads. So you kind of suggest that American footballers, let's say, aren't that bright in the brains department. So this victory proves a thing or two, doesn't it?
We've done okay. Yeah, we've done
Done
all right.
okay, you've done better than that. Very few come along and manage to beat these eggheads. And I must say, you haven't just beaten them, that was a comprehensive drubbing. You know, this was more as close as you get to a whitewash. There's never been one egghead on their own, but this is the minimum they've ever been down to. Look at the calibre of people you knocked out there. Millionaire winner, Brains of Britain, Mastermind, all sitting there silent, couldn't help out. So congratulations, heads held very, very high indeed. Thank you very much for playing Eggheads.
Thank you.
Well, join us next time on Eggheads to see if the new team of challengers will be just as successful. Until then, goodbye.
From London slums to Hollywood fame, and from steak and kidney pie to baked salmon, Nigel Slater discovers Timothy Spall's favourite foods and recreates a special family Christmas with the help of some showbiz friends. A Taste of My Life coming next here on BBC Two Northern Ireland.